Item filters are an important tool in any redstoner's toolkit, but how do they work? Well, hoppers will send items down the line, the hoppers that they're pointed at. If I put a stack of dust in here, we'll see it ends up in this last hopper. If I put a chest beneath it, it won't actually get anything, because the hopper needs to be pointed at it to grab things. But a hopper beneath a hopper will pull things out. They'll pull things out of any container. If you put a chest on top of one, they'll pull items out of that, and if hoppers have items flowing through them, they'll pull items out of there. So you'd think we could do something along with that. Take a hopper like this and power it, and it'll get locked, so we can send items over top of it, and they won't go down into the hopper until we unlock it. So we could maybe do something with that. The issue is, when it's totally locked, we can't really set this up as any kind of filter, because it will never get items. So instead, we just use two hoppers. And this is the real one that we'll actually use, and the top one will act as our filter. So we can lock the bottom one, and just put some items in there. We'll get a signal out of that with a comparator from the top one, and run it over to this torch. When it gets powered, items will flow down into it. And the bottom one will be getting the items. The issue is, when it's locked, items will still get pushed down by this one. So there's an easy fix for that. All we need to do is point the hopper away, with something like that. So now we have our items up top, and when they flow in, they'll get pulled down by this hopper while it's unlocked. But as soon as there's few enough items in here, this torch will turn back on, locking it, and items will stop flowing. And we can just throw some other block in here to act as filler. And it'll let a few more items in. And that's pretty much our normal filter that we've got here. Our items up here will act as our filler, and we'll just throw some smooth stone in there as our actual filler items. And on the back, we just use some dust, and repeaters to send a signal back to the torch itself. We unlock the bottom one, and this top hopper is just pointed over. We can tile these out, which is pretty convenient. When we add another one next to it, the signal strength will never actually break the whole thing. The comparator will only ever output a signal strength of 3 at max when this is totally full of items, so it won't ever flow over and break a setup next to it either.